Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots. I was asked to make a tutorial on how to make, only using xTool Studio, a pop-out Easter paint card to sell. So if you are unfamiliar, it's usually cut out of something like basswood plywood or some other thin wood. You score primarily to make it a really quick and easy project and put it into a cellophane bag with paint pots and a mini paintbrush or markers or crayons. So she wanted to know how, only using xTool Studio, she could do this. Let's do it. You can come over to the basic shape menu or just hit R on your keyboard and you can draw a rectangle. I'm going to make mine 5x7, so I'm going to unlock this shape. Ooh, I had it pretty close. And just type in 7 inches wide by 5 inches high. We can go ahead and lock that shape again. Now, as always, when you're cutting, you want to make sure we round out this just a little bit so we don't have any extra soot from the laser stopping and starting on that 90-degree angle. So you can come up here to this is called corner radius, and you can go ahead and type in a number. So let's do 0.2 or let's do 0.3 and see. That looks pretty good. You're not going to waste too much material on that, and you can still stack them like right up against each other. Okay, so that's going to be our background card. So I'm going to indicate that this is actually a cut piece. This will cut out exactly as it needs to cut. So she was upset because there was no egg inside of elements, but it's okay. You can just hit C on your keyboard or come to the circle menu and draw a perfect circle. From here, with it selected, you can come up to the edit menu. This is when you have a vector, you can vector or edit the nodes. So this is 4 commands to the laser. All we're going to do is highlight the top one. You can also click directly on that top one. I'm going to hold down Shift and just raise it up. So you see that line that comes in the center? That's just because I have auto snapping on, but I do recommend it. You can turn that on with, I think it's Command K. Let's go ahead and hit done here to lock that in. You can come to your software menu and you can hit settings. Oh, Command R. Oh yeah, Command K, I moved back and forth. So Command R will turn that on for you, or you can go to your settings. I do recommend it. It's a very handy thing. So I'm going to put it about here because I'm also going to hit T on my keyboard and type in, oops, not all caps, Happy Easter. And again, I'm going to score this. So let's go ahead and make that a score really quick and easy. This one is actually going to be a cut. Now, to make it a pop-out card, we have to understand what's happening right now. If we make this a cut and we make this a cut, what's going to happen is this egg is going to fall right through this when it cuts, this background. So we need to add tabs. So the first thing you can do is after you select cut, you can come to tab generation and you can choose the number of tabs or by the distance. I'm going to just choose minimum of 3 tabs and make it 0.6 millimeter. And I'm going to, this last one here depends on your audience, but basically right now it's saying 3 times on the outside of this egg, add a space that is not cut out at all, okay? So you can also, instead of 0 power, up the power. So let's say my basswood cuts at 90 and 6, right? This, just over these 3 tabs, will cut at 40 to make it easier to pop out, but you don't have to do that. The other way, and what we do is if we're selling files with tabs, is we will zoom in. We will come, again, we're selecting the egg. We go to edit. And then what we do is we add 2 nodes. We come up to the scissors tool and we break that. Just right in between those 2 commands, we break it. So normally we have these little arrows that allow us to add the nodes. To get the break, we have to select scissors at the top and then just select the area in between those. And you can do that multiple times throughout that egg. Inside of xTool Studio, you also can go to applications and then measurements, and you can just go right here. Tell me, what is that? 0.57 millimeters distance. I would use that. That's good. 0.5, but yeah. And then you would just do that 3 times, maybe once up here, once down here, and once over here. So it doesn't matter if you do this or if you do your own tabs, just choose one. From here, she then asked, okay, well, how can I make it just a little cuter? So I would come into the animals section. They have butterflies. Where's a chick? Or, oh, there's a bunny. Oh, there's another bunny. Let's choose a bunny. We're going to make it score. I'm going to turn it because I don't like that. Let's make it score. Let's make it a lot smaller. And then let's add a little border down here at the bottom. I don't copy and paste anything because I have the ability to do this thing called grid array. So I just want to add 5 or 6 bunnies. How many is that? 5. So let's add 6. There we go. And then done. It'll be grouped together and we can just highlight the background and the bunnies and then just align it center. There you go. Now you can put something along the top or whatever you want, but now let's do decorations on the egg. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Some ideas are basic. C on your a circle on your keyboard. If you hold it down with shift, you can actually make multiples just like this. And then we can round out one more over here. Oops. And then we can highlight all of them. And we can come up here to distribute vertically. Oh, nope, distribute horizontally. There we go. And on these at the bottom, we want to align those horizontally. Gee whiz, horizontally, vertically. And we want to do the same thing with the top just to make sure that those are good. Then we can highlight all of that, group it together, and now we can center these two. There we go. Let's move that back over a little bit by selecting both of those. I like it there. Now, she had a question on 2 other things, a straight line and a zigzag. Straight line is easy. You're actually going to want to create a rectangle. Now, the problem with the rectangle is that the edges don't go all the way to the edge, right? But you have the power to edit the vector, so we can just highlight this one and bring it over. Remember, you can highlight like that as well. And you see how you've lined it up? And we can go and do that on the other side as well. And you don't have to use the mouse or whatever, your mouse pad. You can use the, like the arrow keys as well. No, I'll move it back. Okay, so there you go. That one's not quite aligned, but you can zoom in quite a bit, and so you can move that over. Let me show you on a zigzag as well. So she really wanted to do a zigzag and couldn't figure out how. So we're going to do a rectangle. All right. I'm going to make this a little easier for you to see by changing it to engrave. But ultimately, we're just going to make 2 rectangles that are the same. See that? I'm going to change this one to a different color. I'm going to take the first rectangle and I'm going to change the angle. Mine's going to be 45 degrees. So I type in -45. And the other one's going to be a +45. Now, we want to make sure that we get these aligned fairly accurately. It doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, let me try and make it not perfect. I'm going to highlight both of them. I'm going to come up here to align and choose one, the top or the bottom. It honestly doesn't matter. And then because they're both highlighted, we're coming to the combine menu and we're choosing the Unite Boolean. Now to validate, we're going to go to Edit. And if you don't have it lined up, there will be extra nodes that we can delete. Let me try and make extra nodes. So I'm just going to make a copy of that now. Let's try, ooh, let's click that. Let's make extra nodes right there. So I'm going to align either the top or the bottom. Then I'm going to combine them. Then I'm going to edit them. Okay, so you see in here, because it wasn't perfectly aligned, we actually can just delete all of that, number 1. And then you can see down here at the bottom, it wasn't perfectly aligned, so we are going to choose, we're going to highlight, I just made one. We're going to highlight 2 of those, delete them, and now we have that cute little Charlie Brown we are going to duplicate that. And you just do that. When you have this created, by the way, you are just going to do this once and you are going to save and copy this, like put it off into your elements. Let's see. Now let's say we have this zigzag, but it's hanging off the edge. And remember, if we tell it to score, it will literally score this right onto the edge, and that would look like not the most professional. So how do we fix it? I'm going to select just our zigzag, go to edit, zoom in, and you can see there's this outline edge of our egg. So we can do this. First, I'm going to drag this one down here to the edge. I'm going to add one right here. And then I'm going to take this one and just drag it. I'm going to double click it to sort of round it out. Those are these symmetry commands up here. And then I'm going to try and align it with my edge. That's not quite perfect. You can see it's off the edge. So we're going to go and highlight this one and just move that a little bit down where we can highlight or where we can be on that. We do the exact same thing on the other side. And again, there's a whole bunch of ways you can do this. I'm just showing you an easy way. Let's make a stop right here on the edge. Grab this one, bring it in, double click. I'm just changing it to the perfect symmetry. Oh, that one's not aligned. So I'm just going to highlight that one down here. There you go. Now you have rectangle and zigzag, and you have an entire completed project that you can sell today. If you keep a copy of this, you can actually customize it. So if I want to make these for the grandkids, I don't have grandkids, but if you want to make these for your grandkids, or if you want to sell customized pieces, you can do that as well. You can put a little message in here. You can create 2 pop-out options if you want. Either way, all we have to do with the text is either weld or convert it to a path, depending on right-click it to convert to path. And this is ready. Olive purple, so all you would do is highlight olive red would get cut, olive purple would make sure that it's score, and you are literally ready to put in your settings and burn this for products. I hope that was helpful. I know I went a little quickly, so if you are unfamiliar with xTool Studio, you have the ability to do all of this. And because you didn't use anybody else's art, and xTool's art is all available for you to sell commercially, you don't owe anybody any money. If you have any questions on this, just leave your comment down below. Also leave the laser you have with the wattage so that I can create tutorials that best suit you. Thank you so much for joining me. Please like the video and subscribe for more laser fun.